All right, thank you very much, speakers. Probably we go to the second segment. Eugene, you mentioned about a few types of laziness, and then you also gave a very apt description on a person who learns something and goes back home and do his research, do her research, and to find out the truth and so on and so forth. Probably, if I could say, this is about thinking. You shouldn't be lazy in thinking, lazy in researching, lazy in contemplating about God's teachings. If you want to expand on that further.
Yes, thank you. But before I expand on that, perhaps since thankfully Shaykh Imran for giving an exposition in Islam about that laziness, I'd just like to maybe respond to that and perhaps do justice to a little bit of that. Although at the beginning I mentioned that there is really, in Christian understanding, there's really no 7 deadly sins, as though the other sins are not important. I think it is also important for me to highlight that the Bible does name certain sins that are also very grave and serious in consequences. And from the exposition just now by Shaykh Imran, I can see straight away that there are 3 areas or 3 sins that are common to both Christian and Muslims. For the Christian category of these sins that has been named as very serious and very grave in terms of its consequences, you can find those sins listed in what we call the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments. And from the 10 Commandments, as I said, I can straight away identify that there are 3 areas which both Christians and Muslims share in common. And the first of all is this: just like Islam says that you shall worship no other God, Christianity also says that there is only one God and you shall not worship any other God. Of course, we accept that each other's understanding or interpretation is different, but nevertheless, both religions accepts that there is one God. So that's the point that I think there is something in common. The second thing that I think Shaykh Imran mentioned that is also in common to Christianity is that in Islam, taking one's man's life without reason or purpose is a deadly sin. In the case of the 10 Commandments from Christianity, it is the injunction against murder or killing someone innocently. So that's also another area of what you call common area with Islam. So Christianity also do not categorize murder as a very serious sin. And the third area that I think Shaykh Imran mentioned about that constitute deadly sins, which has something in common with Christianity, is about honoring your parents. Just as Islam asks us to honor our parents, the 10 Commandments from the Bible also says that we must honor our father and mother. And in fact, the 10 Commandments go so far to say, if you dishonor your father and mother, curses will come upon you. And for those who honor their father and mother, God will bless them for thousands of generations. So that illustrates to you how serious this sin is if you do not honor your father and mother. The rest of the other sins is, that the Bible does mention, which may be of interest to you, is this: we also prohibit the act of adultery. We also prohibit the act of theft, and we also prohibit what is called saying bad things about another person. So the other sins like magic, divination, it is not specifically mentioned, but in practice, the Bible also says that, well, we do not accept that kind of sin because for the same reason, magic or divination is relying on, say, the spiritual forces instead of God. So, while we do not have that prohibition specifically mentioned, the reason why that prohibition came about is something that I can see that is similar to both Islam and Christianity. So, you can see that even from this simple sharing, both religions share many common grounds, common injunction and common teaching again what we understand as sins and even the reasons for sin. So that's something that I think I just want to comment a bit about this. So and this is very enlightening because I think as we compare notes we see a lot of similarities between us. Number two, expanding further on what I say about spiritual disciplines. Now, Christianity do not really just talk about, as far as spiritual disciplines are concerned, they do not only talk about what is called the act of contemplation or meditation. That's very important. We need to have contemplation. We need to sit down, take a time to meditate. And when I say meditate, I do not mean the Buddhist kind of meditation, empty your minds and all that. That's not what we mean. When Christianity talk about meditation, we actually say that we really need to have what we call silent moments. Silent moments. That means we sit down, right, in a place where it's silent. Sometimes we go to a hill somewhere away and we don't want to be disturbed by the daily buzz of life, handphones, computer, WhatsApps and all that kind of thing. Cut all that, go and just be silent before God. That's what I mean by meditation, right? The Christian really meditate. And the reason why we say that is because when you are silent and you seek God and you are able to think about God, then we can begin to ponder about the beauty of God and what God wants to talk to us and what God wants to tell us. So contemplation and meditation is very important. All in all, we have what we call 6 disciplines that are essential to Christian living. Meditation, contemplation is just one of them. The second thing is what we call prayer. Prayer is also important, just like in Islam. The third area is what we call Bible study. We also want to study the Bible because we believe that the Bible is the Word of God, something like the Quran. And the fourth area is what we call Christian service. Service. Sometimes we translate the word service to charity. That means you give your body, your soul, your life. Not just for yourself, but you give it to community, you give it to the neighbor, you help the neighbor. And the reason why we say this is a spiritual discipline is because this is something that is necessary because it is based on the commandment. If you love God, you must love your neighbor as yourself. That's the Christian teaching. So, based on the Christian teaching of loving your neighbor as yourself, we have to give our service towards others. Now, whatever the service it may be, it is giving towards others. And the sixth discipline, believe it or not, it is play, relax. Play, relax, exercise. We do have that. Now, a human being cannot just contemplate, that's important, cannot just work and serve, cannot just pray, study. That's not that. But we also need exercise. And I'm sure you agree, in this modern era, high cholesterol and high blood pressure is a reality. And that's because we eat the food, we don't play, we don't exercise, and then suddenly we got high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and then we take pills. Now that's no good. So the Bible talks about the need to exercise, the need to relax, the need to actually do something to upkeep your body. So that's also an important thing. So we really need to do that, and for that's where we say that the injunction against being slothful, the injunction against being sluggard. We must not be lazy. We must not be pemalas. When it comes to spiritual discipline, it is in this sixth area of spiritual discipline. This sixth area of spiritual discipline: prayer, Bible study, meditation or contemplation, service before the Lord, and the need for exercise. So these are areas that we talk about, not just one area, but many these other areas as well, so that our life will be fulfilled, our life will be meaningful. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eugene. Very much comprehensive for us to see the bigger picture. Shaykh Imran, if you can expand also from the Muslim perspective, those areas that Eugene asked, is it in the Muslim teachings as well, in the Quran and Sunnah?
Mentioning about like what Father Eugene has said. In Islam, yes, we do pay a lot of attention that we have to be an active member of the public. If we don't be active member of the public, then we will consume the public's energy. and that's bad. Okay? And in Islam, it is very important that we continuously contribute up to an extent that if you cannot contribute physically, you contribute spiritually to the public. You make prayers, and you can always do good things even though you cannot move. I have a friend who is kind of wheelchair bound. He couldn't really do much, but he is contributing a lot to the third world countries where he sent a lot of humanitarian help. In Singapore, he sent a lot of humanitarian resources, food, drinks, clothing, whatever it is. So it is very important in Islam that you contribute as much as possible. Mentioning about discipline of whether you can like silence, like what Reverend Eugene mentioned. In Islam, yes, you do have silent moments in your life, and that comes in your prayers. The prayers, when we pray, everyone is silent. Also, at times, it is encouraged for us to get up every night, if it's possible, before the time of Subuh prayers. You get up 10-15 minutes before, 30 minutes before. You sit down in front of your God and you just do your prayers and you remember God, just to come back and revive your self. Reflect on what you have done, whether it's right or not right. In Islam, Imam Al-Ghazali, interestingly, also has mentioned in Ihya Ulumuddin, when you do a lot of worship, prayers, when you study, Imam Al-Ghazali interestingly mentioned in his book Ihya Ulumuddin, you can take a break by going for a short holiday, or just give your soul, yourself, give it a break, so that you will be encouraged to continue to do other kind of acts of worship. It is not to be lazy, but sometimes when you do, just like doing exercises, you cannot keep on doing exercises on and on and on and on. Probably those bodybuilders, they know what is exercise like. As they do their exercises within the 2 hours, they cannot continuously do and do it. They need to take a break in between. And then they do the next kind of exercise. And then they take a break in between. And then they will do another kind of exercise. That is how exactly we have to do in Islam as well. We have, when we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then we change. There are many kinds of acts of worship in Islam. You can do the recitation of the Quran. You can do remembrance of God with your tasbih. You can do prayers. Even by smiling to others, ibtisamuka li akhika sadaqah, as one mentioned by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, your smile towards your brother of another person, it is also an act of sadaqah. It's an act of charity. You can, how much smile can actually do to others. When you smile to others, people will just feel enlightened. That is, looking at the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, our Prophet is the best example for us in our lives. His face is always in a way in which, instead of smiling, people, by just looking at him, people will be attracted and people will fall in love. Because he is always in a state of smiling. In the Mawlid al-Tayba'i, those probably who have ever read the story of the birth of the Prophet, he has a mouth, his mouth is as if he is always mentioning the word meme. Always like this, always in a state of smiling. Up to that extent, Islam pays a lot of attention for you to put effort in giving act of charities to others. Kind words, giving kind words to others, encouraging words, not to destroy their moral. It is also very important in Islam, because that is also an act of charity. So there are so many small things you can do in Islam which remove your laziness. As what we have discussed earlier. Now, we actually have gone away from our topic a little bit. But we are just trying to say that there are so many kinds of acts of worship. Helping others, if you can help in your wealth, you help others with your wealth. If you cannot help with your wealth, you help with your body. That is how much the Prophet ﷺ tell us to do good to others. Now, mentioning about where we come from, we will be discussing about you playing. Okay, Islam, yes, you take a break sometimes before continuing your act of worship. It is not to stop worshipping Allah, but it is just to give yourself a break before you continue doing more. Imam Shafi'i, he has a very nice way. Even Imam Shafi'i is known for his knowledge, but he has taught us how not to give up in continuously learning knowledge. For example, if you learn a kind of knowledge and then you get tired with that subject, go to another subject. Your brain is prepared for another subject. Your brain is just tired with that subject. So you change to another subject, and then you change to another subject, and then you change to another subject, until eventually you get tired. That is how Imam Al-Ghazali, Imam Shafi'i has taught us that we can actually do a lot of things. It doesn't mean when we get tired of one particular thing, means we are tired of everything. No. We can change different flavors even in a particular field. That's how it was taught by Imam Shafi'i.
So the third segment, if you the speakers can go in deeper into the subject matter. Eugene, you mentioned about one element of being lazy, which is livelihood. Alright, probably Shaykh Imran can further elaborate on the Islamic perspective about being tawakkul and redha. So the distinction between trying your best and leaving it to God, do you have that in Christianity?
Now, the Christian understanding, of course, as I said, is that we should not be lazy. And a good illustration is, I want to read with you one particular verse just to address this question about what about those who are less able. This is taken from the verse in the Bible called from Proverbs chapter 24, verse 30 to verse 34. And it means this, it actually talks about a scenario. And this is what I quote, meaning a person, I pass by the field of a sluggard. That means I am a person, if I pass by the field of a sluggard, by the vineyard of a man lacking sense. And behold, it was all overgrown with thorns. The ground was covered with nesting, and its stone wall was broken down. Then I saw and considered it. I looked and received instructions. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and one like an armed man. Right? Let me just read again, just to get a sense. I passed by the field of a sluggard, by the vineyard of a man lacking sense, and behold, it was all overgrown with thorns. The ground was covered with nesting, and its stone wall was broken down. Then I saw and considered it. I looked and received instructions. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come to you like a robber, and one like an armed man. Now, this particular verse gives a very important teaching to us. One is a warning. It gives us a warning that when people who are able, people who are capable, people who have been given the privilege and opportunity and responsibility to take care of their land, take care of their ground, and they fold their arms, sit down and prefer to rest, very soon you will have nothing left. Now, it tells us that those who God has vested you with a certain talent, God has vested you with a certain ability, God has vested you with a certain gift and skills, you must fulfill what God has given you faithfully. If God has given you 10 talents, you are expected to fulfill not 10 talents, but 11 talents. But if God has given you 1 talent, then God expects you to be faithful and fulfill not just that 1 talent, but try your best to do more. So, As far as livelihood and laziness is concerned, it is always measured with the abilities, the capacity, the talent, the skills that God has given you. And by those very capacity, talent, and skills that God has actually given you, that will be the criteria God will judge you. That will be the criteria that God will measure you. Now, just now, friend here, Shaykh Imran said, he has a friend in the wheelchair. Certainly you don't expect a man in the wheelchair to be able to till the ground and to take care of your land and many acres of land and all that kind of thing. But the principle is this: he is handicapped, he has certain limitation, but God has given him certain talent, certain capacity. Even though you are on a wheelchair, that capacity may not be measured or may not be equal to that capacity of a person who is strong, able, and a bodybuilder. But yet God has still given that person, whether you have limitation or more or less limitation, a certain talent and a certain capacity. God will judge that person according to his capacity, how he used that capacity, whether faithfully or not. And if he has not fulfilled that responsibility and used that capacity faithfully, he will be considered as lazy and irresponsible before God. But when it comes to a person who is like a bodybuilder, able, strong, that which this person do certainly cannot be used to measure, as I say, a person who is able and strong. That person who is able and strong, his capacity, his responsibility, his skills and his ability is much more. And so God will expect much more from you. So, from our point of view, yes, there is a general principle that we must do our best to livelihood, but it is always according to the capacity that God has given you. And the issue is not how much we need, but the issue is how faithful have you been before God on the sight in the eyes of God.
Our brother Justin has mentioned about the concept of tawakkul, which means surrendering oneself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now in Islam we have that concept. Surrendering ourselves to Allah. This is a very important subject. A person should really learn before throwing himself to God just like that. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned in the Quran, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. When you have intended, when you have strongly intended to do something, then leave the matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now what does that mean? It means that once you have intended, strongly intended, it's not only intention, but you have made plans to carry out your intention. That's what you call azam. فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Then you surrender the matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once you have big plans that you're going to do something, then you surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you carry out your plan physically. You cannot just simply say that I have made my plans and I'm going to surrender to Allah. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. If it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen. That's not right Islamically. That's not right. Now, when there was a person, he came to the mosque of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he put his camel outside the mosque, and then he lost his camel, and then the Prophet said. Then he came and complained to the Prophet, "Oh Prophet, I have lost my camel." And then the Prophet said, "Did you tie your camel?" He said, "No, I didn't. I just surrendered the matter to Allah." And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Tie your camel, then surrender to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." So it is important, very important in Islam, that when you want something, you have to put effort, and you surrender to Allah. Sometimes things doesn't happen according to what we have planned. So that's alright, because you have surrendered the matter to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, it is not only important for us to simply surrender the matter to Allah, or it is not only important for us to stay away from laziness, but it is also important for us not to do things that will result us into laziness. For example, During the beginning of Islam, there was not much wealth with the Prophet and also with the companions radiallahu anhum. So they were eating very carefully. In fact, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that we are people who don't need much medication because we don't eat much. In fact, many of the sicknesses come because of food. You tend to eat a lot, you become lazy, you don't move. When you don't move, then your body is not good. Then it just accumulates from time to time, especially when you move. Now, during the time of Umar radiallahu anhu, and during the time after the Prophet passed away, then Abu Bakr for 2 years, after Abu Bakr 2 years, then Umar came in. When Umar came in, then Islam was very successful because the companions, they were expanding their businesses around the world, they were able to do things, they were no more being controlled by others, so they were very successful. So there was one man, he was enjoying his food and eating. And then his stomach grew big. Then Umar asked him, "What's this?" And then he said, "This is blessings from God." This is what? Blessings from God. And then immediately Umar told him, and Umar made the khutbah, a lecture right away. He said that you have to stay away from having big belly, because having big belly will cause a lot of sicknesses and will make you lazy from worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So look at how much actually Islam doesn't like people to be lazy, and also it is important for us to prevent people from laziness in Islam. Now, however, there are certain kind of things, certain other things that we have to consider, especially in our spiritual journey, that will not lead us to laziness. When we embark on a spiritual journey, it is important that we do it gradually, step by step. Don't jump, or what they call it, Malay they call it terjun botol, just simply jump. You just go all in right away, just suddenly. We human, just as how our physical being, we cannot do things suddenly, all out. Same goes to our spiritual being. We need to train our spiritual being from time to time. For example, a person who likes to read Quran, he has never recited Quran before. He just started learning Quran. It takes his time to read Quran every day, 15 to 20 minutes. Every day, a little bit, 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 15 minutes, then 20 minutes, then eventually 30 minutes, eventually 1 hour, then slowly you grow. If a person suddenly from not knowing anything, he go all in towards the religion, he will get tired easily. Spiritual exhaustion, what do you call it? Exhaustion. Suddenly you get very tired because you do and do and do. You think you can keep up with it, but eventually you will give up. Within months, sometimes within 1 or 2 years, you will easily give up. Now that will cause you to be lazy in doing other spiritual acts in religion. So it is very important. As how it is not good for you to be lazy, it is also very important to make sure that you are not doing something that will cause you to be lazy in the future.